Okay. This is good evening and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the second installment of Fun is Not an Argument, where we go over Pathfinder 2nd Edition classes and rate them in terms of how good they are at various categories. The things that are important. So I spent a lot of time, by a lot of time, maybe like an hour, to go over the metrics that I use to evaluate caster classes in Pathfinder 2nd Edition. The problem is, with the first time I did it, it was kind of all over the place. I wasn't quite sure how to effectively analyze them, considering a lot of these scores, such as tradition and what was the other one? Casting stat, key ability score. Those are kind of arbitrary, to be completely honest. The tradition should be split into what the tradition provides. It is erroneous to suggest that the arcane tradition is twice as good as the divine tradition, which is where I originally had things. In addition to that, it was wrong of me to assume that the two casters that could choose any tradition they would like to have a lower score than the best tradition. Because at worst, they should have the best tradition, and at best, they should have greater than that, because they might be able to cover roles that you shouldn't be able to otherwise cover. So the two categories that I decided to keep were spells per day and durability. I think this should be a 9. This should be an 8. No, I think it should be an 8. This should be a 7. The wizard gets a fuck ton of spells per day. An actual metric fuck ton. Even at level 1, they have more spells per day than the sorcerer. So it should be at worst 10 to 9. Assuming you're not an idiot and pick Universalist for some godforsaken reason. But Bond Conservation completely shits on basically any other caster class. You can just do so much with it. Spell blending does a lot. Spell substitution is really good. A lot of class features that the wizard has can give them additional spells per day, even at top level. As a result, I keep the wizard at a 10 spell per day. Unfortunately, the sorcerer does have to fall a bit because of that. They do get 1 extra spell per day per level, but it does not apply to cantrips, so the wizard also has the sorcerer beat there. And on top of that, what was I going to say about the sorcerer? No, that was it. That was it. They don't have Arcane Bond. Live now. Let's talk about the Oracle. Hold on, I'm in the middle of selling out before I continue. But if we take a look at where I rank the shitty casters, the Oracle and the Witch, somebody liked my tweet. The Adventurers Vault podcast. I should follow them back. I need to talk about the Oracle. And a lot of people said that the Witch was the worst spellcasting class in the game. I definitely can see the argument for why people would think that. I play Witch on Thursdays, and they're absolute crap. I'm having a miserable time, and I think they suck. Primarily because they get no spells per day. Additionally, because the durability is dog shit, so I gotta spend one of my 3 first level spell slots on fucking mage armor, so I don't get crit into oblivion all the time. And then I have to prepare shield as well, and I had to take adopted cantrip just so I could get electric arc on an occult caster. And I think I've always said a lot of people like the occult spell list. The occult spell list is garbage. I'm just gonna say it. It's the second worst spell list. Pretty easily. You get a bunch of nice debuffs at later levels, but none of the relevant debuffs or buffs you get at early levels are particularly attached to your tradition. So I balk at the statement that the Witch or the occult spell list is good. But we're not talking about the occult spell list today. We're talking about the divine spell list, and the divine spell list is kind of bad. Kind of really bad, because the only thing that they really have going for them is heal, bless, and heroism. I think most of their spells are garbage, and you'll never prepare them. Except Breath of Life, which is just a necessity. It's a tax. Let's be real here. Breath of Life is a tax. Is Breath? I believe it's divine only. If it's not, then we have bigger issues. Okay, it is only. Ooh, it's in the Phoenix bloodline. Wow, that's pretty good. Grant this new source of bloodline to people who finish the fist. Oh, okay, so you'll never actually have access to that. Okay, so let's not take that into account. That is pretty cool though. Let's take a look at the Oracle. I think putting them as a 7 in durability. So spells per day, the spellcasters that only get 2/3 progression are getting a 5. I think that having the number of spells that Wizard has is very much equal to 10. And I do think the scaling 7 for clerics, because they get 3 extra heals, or about 3 at level 1, maybe 2, maybe 4, depending on how much you invest into charisma. If you're not investing into charisma at all, just 1. But even so, you can very easily just put a 12 in charisma, and you still have 2 heals, so that's not bad. But yeah, druids, bards, witch, oracle, they all have really low spells per day. Ideally, the offset being they have really good class features. I'm not sold that the Oracle's class features are good. I'm not sold. There's a guide to the Oracle somewhere. I gotta call that up. Where is it? Here it is. It's called Divine Gift. I don't want to open that in Chrome. I want to open that in Firefox. Divine Gift by Blamit. If anyone wants the link, I will gladly put it in the chat. Reddit.com. It's not a Reddit link. Pathfinder. Divine Gift book. How does that not immediately take me to my own fucking page? Are you serious? Okay, there it is. Sorry you had to do a little streamception there, but in any case, this guide is great. First things first, I gotta say this guide is great. Definitely take a look at it, I should say. But let's go over the class features, starting with, of course, their mysteries. The way I rate... Okay, so I put Oracle as pretty low versatility. The way I weighted versatility is how good can they do things out of combat, effectively. And this includes their subclasses and all that other decision-making. So the higher in versatility that you score, the more likely it is that your values for these 3 categories will remain the same. Oftentimes, you could probably put a +1 into one of these categories, but if you want to do that, you're putting a -1 in the other 2. That's usually how it goes. Can I elaborate on that? Yes. Am I going to? No. But if you're focusing on one area, you're probably going to suffer in the others. Like, let's take the Bard. If the Bard picks the Maestro... the Maestro Muse, whatever, I would probably put their support as a 10. Because you get Lingering Performance, you get Inspired Defense, Inspired Heroics, all that good stuff. However, you're going all into supporting, and you're not going to be doing much controlling or blasting. You're shaping your build around that. And your versatility also probably drops as well. I would say these two actually remain the same. Or pretty close to the same. Control probably a 9. But the versatility definitely goes down because you're going all in on performance. If you picked something like Polymath or Enigma, I would say versatility goes up, but all of these numbers go down, etc. For example. But let's get to the Oracle. Let's take a look at their mysteries. I believe they have about 5 or 6. They have Ancestors, Battle, Bones, Cosmos, Flames, Life, Lore, and Tempest. That's actually a lot. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They have 8 Mysteries to choose from. A lot of them are bad. I think a lot of them are really fucking bad, and you shouldn't even look at them. I think Tempest is one of the good ones. I think Lore is dog shit. I think Life is pretty bad. Flames is horrible. Flames is a pitfall. I'm gonna say it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. Cosmos, I need to take a look at. I think it's pretty shit. I was looking at it yesterday. I wasn't convinced. Moonlight Bridge is nice, but that comes at like 10th level or some shit. At earliest 11th. Probably you need to take a feat to get it, so 12. Do you need to take feats to get these? Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. So you don't even get these for free. You have to take a feat to get it. Thankfully, you don't need to take feats to refocus your focus pool. But does it matter if your focus spells are garbage? The answer is no. Okay, 1D. Okay, so let's go in order. Let's start with Ancestors. I know I'm all over the place, and I do apologize for this, but let's start with Ancestors. You gain an additional Ancestry feat at 1st and 11th. They cannot be physiological ones, such as additional senses or unarmed attacks. That's pretty... I want to say that's not ambiguous, but at the same time, it's kind of ambiguous. So would I be able to take general training as a human with this? Could I take general training to get canny acumen? Could I use this to get natural ambition? Probably natural ambition for sure. Get an extra class feat. Speaking of class feats, oracles don't get familiars, and that's pretty bad. Granted cantrip is guidance. Meh, take it or leave it. Train skill society, not the greatest. I would say this is pretty shit. Revelation spells, Ancestral Touch, Ancestral Defense, and Ancestral Form. Let's take a look at these. At 1st level, the target, you have to touch a target. Alright, so this is immediately terrible. And it takes 1d4 mental damage. Okay, so that does nothing. And on a will save. Okay, so you're dealing half the time 2.5 damage and frightened 1. And then you're... Okay. The problem with this is you have to be in touch range. I'd rather much see cast 2 actions and you just get it 30 feet. But as it stands, this is pretty bad. Let me throw in some music too. Let me throw in the music from last time. It was chaos. Pathfinder. There we go. Hey, what's up, Cineos? Thank you for stopping by. I need to download an ad blocker for Firefox. There we go. Alright, so I've established that Ancestral Touch is crap. Critical failure is never going to happen. Well, it's going to happen about 5% of the time. You shouldn't bank on it. I think this is pretty shit. Frightened 1, ooh. Well, okay, it is better than the Witch's Evil Eye, but it does cost a focus point. But you do have 2 focus points. So, okay, it's bad, but it's not horrible. Ancestral Defense. Your will saves are already amazing, and you have to use this before you attempt it, and it progresses your curse. So I want to say that this is also kind of whatever. You're a caster. You're not going to be targeted by will saves more often than not, and your will save is also going to be amazing. So I give Ancestral Defense like a 3 out of 10. It's whatever. Ancestral Form. All of this sounds good until you read the last sentence. You become invisible and quasi-corporeal. That's nice. You gain resistance 10 to everything except Force and Ghost Touch. That's nice. And doubled against non-magical damage and precision. That's amazing. You gain a fly speed equal to land speed. That's great. When flying, moving upward isn't difficult terrain. Amazing. You can't move through solid objects, but you can float through tiny gaps. Alright, so far this is like a 9 out of 10. You can't cast spells, but you can sustain. Activate items, use actions that have the attack and manipulate trait, and this immediately brings it down to a 4. This is a get out of jail free card, but you can't do jack. And none of the spells on the divine list that are any good are sustain. So you'd ideally need to divine access a spell that gives you basically what are the good sustain spells other than Hideous Laughter, of course. I guess summons. I guess summons are pretty good. But then you're It's like okay, but you can still intimidate people with intimidating glare, but you're invisible, so they can't see that you're glaring at them. You can scream at them. Okay, I guess you can still. It's like you can't cast other spells though. That's the problem. The problem is, oh, what the this spell in and of itself is sustain. I thought it was just cast it and then you're done. That's not even it. It's you cast it and then you still have to sustain it. Okay, this is like a 3 out of 10. So their ancestors' focus spells was 3 out of 10. Let's take a look at their curse. Curse of Ancestral Meddling. Okay, whatever. Okay, so once you trigger your minor curse, one of your ancestors becomes predominant in their meddling. The first time you gain this effect each day, roll a d4. So we're taking an RNG game and then adding another layer of RNG on top of it. The predominant ancestor guides you to use the preferred type of action. When you try to use one of these types of actions listed for the other ancestors, you must succeed a DC4 flat check. So you have a 15% chance of just straight up failing to do. That's so dumb, dude. So you're always gonna want 3. It's like, why wouldn't you want 3? But then your skills go down because you can't effectively intimidate, you can't effectively bon mot, you can't effectively feint if you're interested in that. Strikes. Okay. Strikes. You're not a marshal. You shouldn't be in you're not a battle oracle. You shouldn't be doing this. This is bad. You don't want this. Like, you might think this is good, but like, no, dude, stop. You're gonna get obliterated. And it's a status bonus. Well, I guess it would stack. It wouldn't stack with Bless, but it would stack with like Magic Weapon. Not bad. I'd give this like a 4 out of 10. The +2 status bonus is the damage is not bad. Skillful. This is crap. That means on both attacks and casting spells, you get a penalty. Okay, so skillful is a 0 out of 10. If you get this, get fucked. And then spellcasting. Non-cantrip spells without a duration gain a status bonus to their damage and healing equal to the spell's level. Alright, so this is kind of mediocre. It's like, you don't have a lot of blasts. Your blasts that you do have aren't very good. So it only affects healing, but healing is already going to be enough. Getting an extra +1 hit point to healing isn't going to change anything because your characters don't play any, or sorry, they aren't hindered if they have 50% health versus 51% health. The only health point that matters is the difference between 0 and 1. So I completely balk at the healing part, because let's say you're casting a 4th level heal, for instance, that's 4d8 plus 32. Which is on average 918 plus 32, 50 healing. That's 50 healing. Is there much of it? What's the difference between 50 healing and 54 healing? That's 8%. That's an 8% increase to healing. Even at first level, it's even worse than that, I'd imagine. It's 12.5. Maybe, I think it's actually equal. No, the ratio should still be the same. It's an 8% increase to healing, which I balk at completely. And 4 is you choose which ancestors guide your actions. That's nice, I guess. So basically, there's a 50% chance you get spellcasting. And a 50% chance you get cucked. Oh. I'm sorry. You don't get this till Moderate Curse. I thought this was Light Curse. So in Minor Curse, you get nothing. Okay, so this is out of combat, whatever. and then when in combat you roll it again. And at moderate curse, it's a DC is a 6. That's so terrible, dude. Ancestors is garbage, and at major curse it's an 8. That's crap. That's actually just flat out garbage. Alright, so Ancestors is like a 2 out of 10 on the whole. I would never play this. I would straight up never play this, and I'm dropping frames. Okay, we're back. We only dropped a couple frames. Okay, we're back. Sorry about that. Alright, so I've established that Ancestors is crap. Let's go on to battle. Yada yada yada. You're trained in medium and heavy armor, and then you also get... Okay, so that's not bad. That's a straight up durability increase. I put okay, so Oracle durability goes up to an 8. For Ancestors, you can just dock support control blasting all by 1, versatility down by 1. You just get you just have to pray to RNGs that you don't get screwed on the day. Battle Oracle durability probably goes up to an 8. Probably support, control, versatility all go down by 1. Blasting probably stays the same because blasting is all types of damage, not just. Oh, actually, support. Battle Oracle support is really good. It's really good because I know Call to Arms is fucking broken. Call to Arms is fucking broken. For the cost of nothing, as a reaction that you can use before you roll initiative, you gain a status bonus and temp HP to all of your allies within 20 feet. That's so good. Call to Arms is like a 7.5, maybe an 8 out of 10. I'd say an 8 out of 10. Call to Arms, well done. Battlefield Presence. Isn't it just what was the other one? Is this roll twice, take better? Okay. This is roll twice, take better, but only versus will. Battlefield Persistence is +2 as opposed to roll twice, take better. But it doesn't have the fortune trait, so you can still hero point if things go wrong. And you can apply this to every save. It's not just will. So this is better than the Ancestors crap on the whole. I'd say this is like a 5 out of 10. And then Heroic Feat. For 2 or 3 actions, you gain the action granted by 1 common fighter feat. You cast a spell using 2 actions, you get granted by a single action. Okay, it's 3. So for 3 actions, you can sudden charge. Whoop-de-doo. This is pretty bad. I'd say this is pretty bad. I don't like it. You're not a fighter. And at this level, you're level 11, you're barely keeping up with other martials at this point. And at level 13, you fall way behind. 11 and 12 are the last good levels for any spellcaster trying to fit into a martial role. And level 12 is when you get this feat, it's good for level 12, and then it immediately becomes useless. So I'd put Heroic Feat at like a 2 out of 10. You're not a fighter. So far it's pretty good. Let me take a look at related domains. Society is whatever, guidance is whatever. Death's Call. Terrible. I remember Darth using it. It's terrible. Family. Family is the only thing stronger than yada yada yada, the enemies that you're gonna fight. Soothing Words, 1 action. What? This is so situational, dude. Pass. Okay, so these are crap. Moving on. Might, I think, is okay. Zeal is pretty shit. Weapon Surge is pretty crappy. For 1 action, this is just straight up worse than True Strike. On your next turn, it only applies to 1 attack too, so you're going balls in with this. I don't think it's very good. It's good. It's okay if you have like a D12, if you have a greatsword or something. On the whole, it's whatever. Athletic Rush is good though. It's a +10 status bonus to speed for 1 round, so you can catch up to someone. And as a part of this action, you can stride, leap, climb, or swim. Pretty good. and a +2 status bonus to athletic checks. If you're tripping, that could be helpful. You can set up a lot of control options with this. You can grab, you can disarm, you can shove. A lot of potential here with Athletic Rush. I think that's not bad. Enduring Might? Not terrible. For one action, you gain resistance equal... Oh, it gets all damage. That's not bad. And it scales. It scales not terribly. I think it's like a 5. Again, not bad, but it's not anything that comes off to me as like game breaking. That's what I'm looking for. When I look at these things, I look at feats that would say, "Wow, this is game breaking." Hero's Burden. Whenever you're in your minor curse, you take a -2 status bonus penalty to ACs and saving throws. But every time you make a strike, you can suspend these penalties until the start of your next turn. It forces you to attack every turn. That's bad. That means if you're not casting spells, you're going to be a massive target. So, this is pretty bad. And this doesn't even allow you to remove it entirely, but you gain a bonus to damage. Fast healing is nice. I will say that. Fast healing is nice. You gain this +2 status bonus. +2 isn't amazing. It's whatever. +6 is okay. This is now in the okay reason. And now you get a bonus to weapons and under attack rolls. So that's also pretty good. Doesn't stack with Bless though, so it's kind of whatever. You were stupefied too. Oh no. Oh no. 30% chance to fail in any spell. Yeah, missed me with that. So you really don't want to be in Major Curse. I'd give Battle a better rating than the first one, than Ancestors. I'd put Battle at like a 5 or a 6. Ancestors is like a 2 or a 3. Let's take a look at Bones. I believe these guys have Death as well. So we already established that Death is a shitty domain. Let's take a look at Undeath. Touch of Undeath. On a touch, 1d6 negative. These failure effects don't even matter. I give it a 3. If it wasn't touch, it would be better. Malignant Sustenance. Again, this is only good again. I mean, you already have Disrupt Undead, dude. Who gives a shit? No, this is even worse. So this is basically great if you're a Necromancer, but Necromancers suck because you don't have the action economy to effectively summon and do other things. Actually, it's not like you really contribute much. Combination always got them. But in any case, Trained Skill Medicine, that's really good. Chill Touch, take it or leave it. It's pretty shit, I'd say. I don't like Chill Touch, I'd never prepare it. Armor of Bones, Claim Undead, and Soul Siphon. What does Soul Siphon do? You gain... okay. The target must take attempt for... Okay, this is pretty good. This is pretty good. We got a good one, ladies and gentlemen. We got a good one. Cast 1 action Somatic, range 30 feet, target 1 living creature, saving throw Fortitude, not bad. They take negative damage, and which heightens, and if they fail, they become drained. This is really good. I'd say this is the best one so far, for sure. Soul Siphon is amazing. This is really good. Excuse me. I put this at an 8 or a 9. Drained is fucking amazing because it scales with how strong the enemy is. Assuming that they fail a fort save, which is not the easiest save to fail, but if they do, taking that's a lot of damage. Not only that, it's only 2.5 damage from the negative energy, but Drained 1 is like 10% of your hit points, maybe even more than that. Because Drained, Pathfinder 2E, I believe you lower your hit points times by your con mod times level. No, sorry, level times drained value. So you lose that much hit points, and that also affects your max HP. So that's okay. That lowers it to a 7 or an 8, but that's still much better than some of the others. Armor of Bones. Meh. for a minute, though. You gain resistance to cold, which is whatever. Electricity, which is whatever. Enemies don't use electric arc. Fire, which is really good. Piercing and slashing, which are both really good. Most natural attacks are piercing or slashing. So I'd say Armor of Bones is pretty good. 1 action cast. It's great. Duration 1 minute. That's great. Claim Undead. Okay, so if we're gonna go by the PFS note that you can't mind control sapient creatures, which kind of sucks. Whatever. Unaffected, stunned 1. Okay, on a success versus undead, it's stunned 1. That's really good. On a success, it's stunned 1. On a fail, it becomes controlled by us. And the spell ends on a success. Okay. So you can just have it get naked. And it has to obey you, because that's not self-destructive. Critical failure versus only new save you give it a new order that is... Wow, that's really good. Again, this only affects like maybe 20% of the enemies you'll fight, but if you're in an undead heavy campaign, that's really good. That's like I'd say in a normal campaign, this is like a 4. In undead heavy campaign, this is a 10, obviously. Overall, Bones is pretty good. Let's take a look at their curses. Minor curse, non-magical effects that would restore your hit points, only grant you half as many HP as normal. It's whatever. I don't even think that's much of a penalty. Moderate curse, you become drained 1. That's kind of bad. This drain condition is cumulative with other drain conditions you gain. That is also kind of bad. Drain condition is only removed when you refocus. Effects that normally remove the drain condition reduce drain condition to 1 instead. Okay. Okay, that's whatever. In addition, you gain resistance to poison equal to half your level. That's not negligible. Get a +4 status bonus versus diseases, poison, and death effects. And if you roll a success and such save, wow, you get a critical success instead. That's really good. That's actually really good. I'm thinking Bones is pretty good right now. Major curse. You become wounded 1, and it's only okay. That stacks with doomed. That's the problem. Oracles can enter the state of doomed really fast. So if you're doomed 1 and wounded 1 and you get crit, you're going to dying 4 and you die. So you do not want to be anywhere near your major curse. That's why it's the major curse though, right? Yeah, you're going to get fucked. So you want to stay away from major curse, but you can play around that. Dang, Matt, what's up, Stamina? So hot? Oh. When you would attempt a recovery check, you can choose to get an automatic success. If you roll critical failure, you get a failure instead. That's okay. Okay, not bad. I'd put Bones slightly above Battle. Put Bones at like a 7, Battle at a 6. Let me just write this down somewhere. Write a note. Actually, let's make it a comment. So Ancestors 3, Battle 6, Bones 7. Do something like that. We got Cosmos, Flames, Life, Lore, and Tempest. Okay. Cosmos. You gain resistance 2 plus half level versus all physical damage. Man, that'd be great if you cared about that. That's still not for nothing. That's really good. I forgot to read Mystery Man. What are the... Okay. You're not going to choose to be healed by negative. Okay? So let's not lie. Cosmos. This is really good. It's really good. Nature is... It's whatever. Dancing Lights is bad. Dancing Lights is not doing anything for you. Spray of Stars, Interstellar Void, Moonlight Bridge. Darkness and Moon. Spray of Stars, Dazzled is really good. That's concealment. But it's only a 15-foot cone. Each affects allies too. You have to be near melee. But that's okay because you have the resistance to deal with that. But I'd say this is a 6. Interstellar Void. 3d6 cold damage immediately and when you sustain the spell in future turns the basic force save. They are fatigued as long as the effect persists. -1 status penalty to AC and saving throws. That's pretty good. Pretty good. 2 action cast, somatic verbal, range 30 feet. That's really good. Because even if they, unless they critically succeed, I believe you can still just keep doing this. Amazing. Interstellar Void, probably like a 9 out of 10. Span, okay, whatever. You summon a wall. Bridges AC 10, whatever. Means critical hits precision, good. 30 hardness is a lot. It's a lot of hardness. Cross the bridge normally, other creatures can simply pass through if they try to do so. Bridge blocks physical, ethereal, and incorporeal attacks from crossing, whether above or from below. It's only 10 foot wide though, so you can't use it as like a wall. It could be used outside of combat too. Could be used as an out of combat ability. 6? I'll give it a 6. It's pretty good. When it's good, it's good. Yeah, nothing for me to complain about here. Cloak of Shadow and Darkened Eyes. Yeah, so far so good. The creature can still follow the moving aura of shadow, making it difficult for the target to become completely undetected. Interact action to remove the cloak and leave behind the decoy while it remains, reducing light. Okay. Meh. I'd say this is pretty meh. You infuse a creature's vision with darkness. After attempting to save, the target becomes immune for 24 hours. This could be really good. In an area of darkness, this can completely screw over an enemy. Most enemies you see will have dark vision, however, so its utility is kinda dubious. But again, blinded on a crit fail is amazing, and it's not incapacitation, so it's not auto at worst failure for the big bad. So if they're blinded, they're in trouble. Okay, so I'd say this is a 5. Moonbeam and Touch of the Moon. Moonbeam's okay. Again, dazzled, pretty good. 1d6 fire damage and also counts as silver. Could be good against Fae. Could be good against demons. Devils. I keep forgetting which one's resistant to what. Demon. No, I believe it's devils. Yeah, it's devils. Demons are cold iron. Devils are silver. Okay, good against devils. And then Touch of the Moon. Wax Moon. Touch one creature. Okay. That's pretty good. Oh. So in round 2, 3, 4, skip 4, 5, 2, 3, 5, 6, 8, 9. For 6 rounds, it's kind of weird to track. This is hard to track. But assuming in a perfect world where everyone can track spells efficiently, I'd say this is probably 5 or 6, maybe even a little bit higher, because you can cast it on your fighter. It doesn't need to be cast on yourself. Pretty good, I would say. Okay, let's take a look at the penalties. You are enfeebled 1, not a penalty, and take a -2 penalty versus grapple, shove, and other forms of force movement. That's whatever. I'd say that's not even a penalty. Track spells efficiently? Couldn't be me, right? Moderate curse. You are enfeebled 2, penalty for minor curse increases to -3, whatever. You're treated as 1 size smaller for wind effects. You don't get any fly anyway, so it's not a problem. +2 status bonus versus trip, but you only take half of damage for falls. Gain the effects of these 2 feats that don't matter. You weigh only half as much, and your bulk, should someone to carry, is all half as much. Okay, so this is whatever. Literally no penalty. There's no penalty here. Okay. Cosmos is actually like a 9. Their mystery benefit's good. Their curses aren't even penalties. No one uses grapple. Like, so this is the thing with enemies. When they grapple or shove or trip, it's almost never something that they do. It's something that they get for free. That's the difference. It's like an enemy would only grab if they have the grab ability on hit. They only trip if they have the trip ability on hit, like with the wolf. A wolf isn't going to walk up to you and trip you. It's going to use its bite attack to hit you, which you can then resist, and then when it hits you, it trips you for free. So these penalties to your rolls aren't even a problem. Rip Pirates Part 2? Dude, fucking rip. I hope James is it James? I hope he feels better, dude. I do hope he feels better, because no one wants to be sick, of course. His computer borked? Okay. That's even worse, dude. If I couldn't use my computer, I'd die. Okay, that's not something I joke about. But... Hello from work. Hi, Darth. I mentioned you earlier. We were talking about the death domain, how bad it was, and why you switched off from it, because you realized it was pretty bad. Yeah. Okay, so Cosmos is really good. Really good. I think this is the best one so far. I've literally said that every time so far. So let's keep up the... Oh boy, it's flames. Oh boy, it's flames. Let's see what flames get. Yada yada. Acrobatics, okay. And you get better reflex saves. Literally doesn't matter. What's the standing? Okay, so far the standing is Ancestors is a 3, Battles is a 6, Bones is a 7, Cosmos is a 9. I think Cosmos is really good. It's very... Cosmos is a very safe pick. Rip Ancestors. Ancestors is terrible. It's RNG. You have to play in... Ancestors you're gonna forget about all the time, because every time you roll initiative, you gotta roll this fucking caltrop to see what you're gonna do in combat, and that's just so possibly debilitating. And your moderate and major curses are actually fucking terrible. Because I'm gonna go back to it one more time. If you enter moderate curse, if you try to use an action that's not the one on your ancestral influence, there's a 25% chance you lose the action. Increases to 35% at major curse. This is so fucking bad. I cannot even express how bad it is. It's not even fun RNG. It's just like it's no, yeah, it's not fun RNG. It's like, oh, you get a random benefit. No, you just get a random penalty and a 25% chance to lose that spell you wanted to cast. If you didn't get cast, of course, but you're always going to pick it if given the chance, so it's a 50% chance, of course. In any case, flames. Let's take a look at flames. Train skill acrobatics. You don't get fly as a cleric or as an oracle, so this does nothing. Granted cantrip produce flame. Good. It is, I think, so far the best cantrip you've gotten. Dancing lights is whatever. Chill touch is whatever. Shield you already get on your list, so who cares? I guess the same thing can be said about guidance too. Chill touch as well. Dancing lights, I think, is arcane primal. Is arcane occult primal, but it's whatever. You already have light. There's no difference. Flames. Produce flame. Good. Incendiary Aura. You surround yourself in a 10-foot emanation. Each time a creature, including teammates, within the emanation takes... Oh, when they take fire damage. It catches on fire. This is so fucking dog shit. What? You don't get fire damage as a fucking oracle. Unless You take the fire domain. I don't think the sun deal fire damage. Well, there are a few. There's like the searing light and a few others, but you don't really want to be there. Dazzling flash does not deal damage. Positive luminous probably doesn't do damage either. Yeah. Okay. Fire ray is really good. I think flame barrier is pretty good too. Fire ray is just spell attack roll. You deal fire damage. On a critical success, you also deal persistent damage. Okay, that's not bad. That's pretty good. I mean, fire ray, solid 6 out of 10. Okay, flame barrier, not terrible. It's very specific though. It's versus only fire damage, but I believe fire is the most common type of elemental damage. So I mean, again, it's campaign dependent. I'd put this at in a when it works, it's an 8. Otherwise, it's probably gonna be pretty useless. Flame barrier, that is, not fire ray. It's pretty shit. On the whole, probably like a 4. I'd give it a 4. Let's take a look at the sun domain. Sun domain, fun domain. This is the curse bound. Dazzling flash. 15-foot cone. Each creature must be attempting a fortitude save. On a success, they're dazzled for 1 round. It's whatever. You're spending 2 actions to cast this and might hit a teammate. Might have to walk into melee. On a failure, they're blinded for 1 round, dazzled for 1 minute. Spend an interact action rubbing its eyes in the blinding condition. That's not bad. For a first, it's not bad. And critical failure is obviously amazing, but that's never going to happen, so. Heightened 30 increases to 30-foot cone. That's not bad. Just got to make sure you watch for your teammates, or pray that they're all fighters and can deal with these effects. In which case, I think this is a 5, maybe a 6? Maybe a 6? Positive luminescence. 1 action somatic, duration 1 minute. Glow bright light and 10-foot emanation. Luminance reservoir, sorry. Value 4, you can increase. You can spend a free you can use a free action to increase the luminance reservoir by 4. If you do, the radius of your light increases by 10 feet. There's too many words in this. Free action though, so that's pretty good. Undead creature damages you with an attack or spell while it's in the area of your light. Again, you don't want that to happen to you. Creature takes positive damage equal to half your luminance reservoir value. Whatever. Takes damage only the first time it damages you in a round. Whatever. Dismiss the spell. When you do, you can target a creature within your light and direct the positive energy into it. The target must be a willing living creature or an undead creature. This heals a living target or damages an undead target by an amount equal to your luminance reservoir's value. So let's say it goes for the full minute. That's 4 times 15, or that's 4 times 10. It's 40 hit points. And it scales. Okay, so at 10th level... Yeah, we'll get there. We'll get there. Okay, this is kind of crap. It's whatever. Incendiary Aura 2 is pretty situational. Whirling Flames. Again, these abilities are good, but you have to enter melee, and you're not given any melee abilities that make you better. So I balk at these abilities. Two 5-foot bursts. Is a 5-foot burst 1 square, or is it 9 squares? Burst, Pathfinder 2E. From a single corner of a square within the... Okay, so it's 4 squares. Okay, I guess technically it's 8 squares if you count... If you envision it in 3... Okay, whatever, it doesn't matter. So it affects 4 squares. twice. So it's 8 squares. They don't have to be connected. I don't think they can be connected. So I meant the first one's 4 squares because it's in the center of a square. No, it's a corner of a square. So you put it on a corner, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and the second one's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. Basic reflex save heightens. Not terribly. The heightening isn't terrible. But there's only so many 5-foot bursts that you can cast within 30 feet of you. To the point where probably after the third, it's not even going to matter. You're probably not even going to use them. Okay, so this is probably like a 6 or a 7. Good damage. It's decent damage. Scaling is not bad. It's okay. Finally, Flaming Fuselage. Barrage of flames through miniature fireballs. You can produce... Oh, this one? This one, the one action produce flame that suffers from map, and if you use it more than once, you're just wasting your action anyway, probably. One action cantrip. It is a one action cantrip. It's what the Oracle needs. The Oracle needs a lot more than one action cantrips, my friend. The Oracle needs a lot more. Let me take you back to the tier list. I'm gonna give Flames a 7. No, I haven't looked at the penalty yet. The Flames is a 4. But what about the penalty? I mean, all of its good stuff is good, but you have to be within striking distance from literally any enemy for this to gain effect. So you better pray that your front line can hold the line. You are concealed from other creatures. Okay, Moderate Curse, not bad. Okay. They can benefit from effects of 11. Whatever. No enemy casts True Strike, so it doesn't matter. Oh. So basically you're casting fire spells. Because you gotta succeed on a fucking flat check to heal a teammate. And you effectively can't target things outside of 30 feet. This is so garbage, dude. This is such a hard penalty. An aura of fire surrounds you, yada yada yada. Do you even get fire resistance? Why do you not get fire resistance? I don't want this. I want fire resistance. You can suppress your aura, yada yada yada. Concentrate to diminish the flames. Neither you... Wait, you take the damage too? That sucks. It's not that much of a penalty, but it's a penalty nonetheless. Because if you're a major curse and you go down, you just die. Because you're not only doomed, but you're losing hit points. So I believe if you lose hit points, your dying value increases. That's pretty bad. I could be wrong on that, but I think that's pretty bad. Oh, the flames subside while you... Okay, whatever. When you fall unconscious. Okay, never mind. I take everything I just focused back that I just said back because I just learned how to read. Resume when you wake up unless you rest for long. Oh, my teammates woke me up. Let me just set you on fire. Okay, this curse is pretty bad. It's not that bad. These beyond major. Let me reread it. When affected by your extreme curse, is that the first? Okay, that's only at the end. I just think you can't progress past a certain point. Feat, I'm sure, maybe. I haven't taken a look at the feats yet. I've just only been looking at the mysteries so far. Once every 10 minutes, if you fail, you can reroll and use the second result as a fortune trait. Spend the action. You reroll if you can't. I should have looked at these first. The curse increases. I already know everything else about these guys. They're basically all like whatever. So you can only go to moderate up until 11th. Produces the major rather than overwhelming you. Yeah. Okay. So what happens if you try to go past it? Okay, let me learn how to read. Okay, so it's minor, moderate, major, extreme. Okay. Once your minor curse is manifested, it remains in effect until you rest for 8 hours and again make your daily preparations. Whatever. Moderate curse. Okay. Okay. Drawing upon your mystery's power while your curse is at its worst causes an irreconcilable conflict, yada yada yada, and you are overwhelmed. While overwhelmed, you cannot sustain or cast any revelation spells. You effectively lose access to these spells. Spells, okay, whatever. Okay, whatever. Doesn't literally. It used to be dying in the playtest, which was the cool way. Extreme curse. While infected by your major curse, your curse intensifies your extreme effect instead of overwhelming you. Almost extreme. Okay. When affected by your extreme curse, you become doomed 2. It's every 10 minutes. Yada yada yada. Okay. If you cast a revelation spell while under the effects of this extreme curse, you remain at Doom 2 and become overwhelmed, even if you refocus. And you remain at Doom 2 even if you refocus. Okay, but this is never going to come into play, so it's whatever. I didn't read this playtest. I was too busy with other things to read this playtest. Sadly, but it is what it is. So let's go back to Gulf of Flames, yada yada. I think I rated that one. I rated it as a 4. I could see it as a 5. It's good for what it does, but everything else kind of crap. Mystery of Life, garbage. Play a cleric. If you're gonna play a Mystery of Life Oracle, you might as well play a cleric. Get your bonus heal spells per day, and then just leave it there and not have to worry about it. Medicine, good. Stabilize, whatever. You're already going to take it. Lifelink. Delay affliction, life-giving form. Death, I went over for the 10 billionth time. It's garbage. So let's take a look at healing only. Let's take a look at lifelink. The target recovers some hit points. Whatever. First time each round that the target takes damage, reduce the damage it takes by 3, and then you lose 3 hit points each time. It's less than 3, this damage ignores any immunities, and you can't... Okay, so if you take less than 3 damage... This damage ignores any immunities or resistances you have and can't otherwise be mitigated this way. That sucks. And then it gets better. Okay, Lifelink's pretty good. You cast it on your fighter, and then they never die. I'd give it 7 out of 10. It's pretty good. Delay Affliction. The problem here with Lifelink, and we'll get to it, is that it would really suck if you couldn't heal. And that's the curse. If you're in moderate, you can't heal, I don't believe. So you only heal half your... Okay, it's half level. That's not actually... The minor curse isn't too bad. From other... Oh, no, that's fine. What? You can't be healed by magical effects originating from other creatures. Okay, whatever. No, minor curse is really good. Okay, never mind. I take it back. I take it back, chat. I read this ability wrong. I take it back. Lifelink is good. I'd say it's a 7. Delay Affliction. You push back an affliction that's threatening the target, grant a small amount of healing. It's 38 hit points, whatever. You attempt to counteract any one affliction where the target has spending its effects for 1 hour on a success rather than removing it. That you're aware it has. So if you failed your check to identify what it is, I don't think you can do this. Oh, you need to be aware. You can delay an ingested point. Okay, fine. Okay. Again, read the rest of the sentence, Matthew, before judging the ability of the spell. This is still situational, though. Not a lot of people use not a lot of enemies use afflictions, so I kind of balk at this one as well. I think this is a 4. Lifeling's a 7. The delay affliction's a 4. Life-giving form. Is this okay? Resistance 5 to precision damage, which is like negligible. Weakness 5 to negative damage. That is non-negligible. Unarmed strikes deal an extra 1d4 positive damage. If you're using unarmed strikes with an oracle, you've done something really wrong, and I can't help you from this point. You can touch a living creature with an interact action to restore 6d8. And when a creature touches you, it can gain the same. Okay, so it's Vital Beacon on crack. Except you can only use it once per minute. No, Monk Dedication is broken. Yeah, right. Okay, this is like a 5. You can just cast Heal, dude. You've already selected Heal as your signature spell. You did select Heal as your signature spell, right? This is kind of... It's not bad, but the problem is you're not going to be really using actions to heal like this without getting into melee. And if you're getting into melee, that's kind of a problem. And otherwise, you're either not healing, and I really feel like if you need healing, you can just cast Heal, and if you don't need healing, you don't need this either. So I'm going to give this a 3. Healing Domain. Oh boy. Healer's Blessing. When a target regains hit points from a healing spell, it regains additional 2. It's helped burst heal the team better than a 3 action, but yeah, you rarely use it. Yeah. It's whatever. I mean, this is whatever. Because you have to spend an action. It's like, you don't need this. Like, when are you going to use this? This is like a preemptive fucking thing? No, fuck this. Healer's Blessing's garbage. 1 out of 10. Terrible action economy. You're never going to use it, and it costs a focus point. Spend 1 to 3 actions casting the spell. You target a number of creatures equals the action spent. Each target regains 3d6 if they have the dying condition. Okay. If you're using this ability to get people out of the dying condition... You've already fucked up. You fucked up so hard as a cleric that this should never ever come into play. This spell is also a 0. So my problem with the Life Oracle is just that just play a cleric, bro. It's just better. All right, let's take a look. Let's take a look at the curses. Effects that restore HP equal status penalty minus level. That's whatever, dude. It's not a problem. Do you deal D12s instead of D8s? So that's plus 2 hit points per level per spell. It's okay. When you 3-action heal, this doesn't work if there are any undead in the area. And I don't think there is a feat that you can take to channel the healing, but I'll take a look at that in just a bit. I think that's cleric only. Yeah, it's cleric only. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna give life. I mean, it's good at healing. This is Major Curse is terrible. Okay, whatever. Life. Would I rather have life or flames? I'd rather play as a Flames Oracle than a Life Oracle. No, I'd rather play as a Life Oracle than a Flames Oracle. 4, 6, 5. Sure. Lore. Oh boy. Oh, I wish May were here. Oh man. Occultism and 1 lore skill of your choice. Irrelevant. Lore is more than likely irrelevant. Occultism is the least irrelevant skill. So this is crap. Read Aura, crap. You already get it. Brain Drain, Access Lore, Dread Secret. And then Knowledge and Truth. Put some music back on. Let's start with Brain Drain. Probe the target's mind to glean knowledge. I really hope you're not trying to do this on undead, or an animal, or an ooze, or any mindless creature, or a lot of things. There's a lot of things that this shit just doesn't work on. And you get a recall knowledge that they using their modifier. Again, you better not use this on an animal because they don't know jack squat about themselves. It's a dog. Okay, let me brain drain. You know that it's a dog. Is that all I get? Yes, it's a dog. Its ability's crap. Moving on. Access lore. Choose one lore skill. You gain... What? What? Dog shit. I'm not even gonna read this any further. Dread Secret. Choose a specific resistance or weakness that you believe one or more of the targets have due to recall knowledge or previous experience of the targets, such as resistance to fire or weakness to silver. If the information is incorrect for a given target, the spell has no effect. The target may make a will saving throw. On success, they take one type of the weakness you chose or loses its resistance. Up to 6 creatures, though. Okay, that's not bad. And this is just to get rid of resistance. No, there's not a lot of weakness crap. I am dog, you chase the squirrel, that is your knowledge. Exactly, Darth. It's okay, it's not crap. It's okay. It's like anything an alchemist can do except for this. It takes 1 damage plus, so that's like, okay. Let's say you hit a weakness 20. For a 6th level spell, you're dealing 21 damage. On assumption that you already know their weakness. Your knowledge skills aren't great as an oracle because you're using charisma as your primary stat. So your intelligence is not great, your wisdom's not great. And if they are great, that means you've sacrificed probably either dexterity or constitution. And that's not something you want to do. So you're setting yourself up to die in 1 hit to something. It's like, oh, I know all your weaknesses, and then they just punch you and kill you. So yeah, Dread Secret, I balk at, I give it a 3. Scholarly Recollection, Know Thy Enemy. Not bad. Again, the problem with Lore Oracle is it's the same problem that I have with fucking Enigma Bard. But at least Enigma Bard gets you fucking bardic knowledge, which is just a catch-all to do whatever the fuck you want. This is just dog shit. I mean, it's not dog. Okay, it's not dog shit. Let me take that back. It's just that if you're using recall knowledge, like, there are better things you can do with your life. Know Thy Enemy. Again, you only get 1 reaction per turn. Trying to reenact a Goku versus Light fan fight. Okay. Use recall knowledge action, rolling the appropriate skill check to identify. It's whatever. Okay. Knowledge is pretty crap. I give it a 3. Truth. Word of Truth, Glimpse of Truth. This is a social ability, so it's automatically garbage. 0 out of 10. Divine Insight lets you see things as they are. It keeps countering each illusion. Okay, you see through it. Okay. 1 round? Really? Really? 1 round? 0 out of 10 as well. I give Laura like a 2. I don't even. What could the curses be? What could the curses be that could make it this fucking thing not complete dog shit? The illusory stone wall. You could. John just sneezed for no reason whatsoever. All right. Curse of Torrential Knowledge. You take a -4 to initiative. Okay, that's dog shit. Moderate curse. The attention you divert to the process. You're always flat-footed. That's also really bad. You automatically make a knowledge check as a free action, but your knowledge modifiers are crap anyway. And you get assurance. Oh, you get assurance. Meh. You get assurance. Again, meh. You understand all languages but can't speak. This is never going to come into play, dude. Why? You're not gonna be in your major curse outside of combat, And when you're inside of combat, literally none of this matters. But this is such a fucking stupid bonus. So Investigator, but worse at moderate curse. This is Investigator, but worse in like everything. You get a +4 status bonus against saving throws against linguistic phase. Wow, ooh, what a nice bonus. Literally irrelevant. This is an irrelevant bonus. What? 20% chance to lose your spell while you're in Major Curse. Why? But it's not like you're gonna get to Major Curse anyways, because all of these abilities are dog shit. I give Lore a 1 out of 10. 2 out of 10? 2 out, fine. I'll give him a 2 out of 10. It's really bad. It's so bad. It's garbage. It's dog shit. I can't even begin to mention how fucking useless this class is. Tempest. Oh, now we get to the good one. Now we get to the fun one. Granted cantrip Electric Arc. Oh baby, 10 out of 10. Let's call it a day. Move on with our lives. Just kidding. But it's scoring at least an 8. There's no way you can rate Tempest lower than an 8 simply for Electric Arc. Okay. Let's take a look at their ability. Nature is appropriate. It's whatever. Okay, Tempest Touch. This ability does nothing. You deal 1d4 bludgeoning and cold on a touch spell. So you're doing 2d4 damage. You're doing 5 damage on a touch spell. And if they fail, they take a minus 10-foot circumstance to speed for a fucking turn. Whoop-de-doo. Garbage. 2 out of 10. Thunderburst. 2d6 bludgeoning, 2d6 sonic. Nothing resists sonic, or maybe very few things resist sonic, so that's pretty good. You're already doing well. Each creature in an area, 20-foot burst with 100-foot range. That's very good range, very good area. Can fail on deafen. Reach spell makes it decent? Yeah. It's very decent. The status penalty to speeds is probably going to be irrelevant. So it's just damage, and it's not particularly good. So that's nothing. Tempest Form. Thunderburst, I said it was okay. I'd say the first spell, what was it? Tempest Touch, 3. Thunderburst, I'd give it like a 5. I give it like a 5. Tempest Form. When you cast a spell, choose to become air, water, or mist. Okay. You become amorphous as does your armor, and you lose any item bonus to AC, and use your proficiency bonus for armor and defense to determine AC. You also gain resistance 10 to physical damage and become immune to precision. Okay. Slip through tiny cracks, don't need to breathe. Okay. You can't cast spells, activate items, or use actions that have the attack or manipulate trait. So you can't cast spells. You can't cast spells that you'd want to cast. So, we're already off to a pretty bad start, but you can still cast Shield. Fly speed of 20, or swim speed of 20. Become invisible while you're in the air, Gust of Wind. I guess this isn't the spell. You can create the Gust of Wind. Okay, sure. It becomes hard to see through you. Any creature on one side of your space who's targeted by a creature on the opposite side is concealed. So you're just putting, but that's not gonna. They're just gonna hit you. What? That's terrible. Pass. Lucy can become invisible while you're in water. Ooh. You can electrically charge yourself by taking a single action, which is the manipulate trait. If you do, you're no longer invisible in the water due to electricity indicating your location, but any creature that makes a melee attack needs to garbage? I think it's a 5. It's not garbage. It's like a 4. So all of their focus spells all of their curse bound spells are crap. So that takes the electric arc from a 10 to a 9. So you look at the I'm gonna get some water. I'll be back. Okay, return. Perpetual Storm. Oh, sorry, Air and Water. Air and Water. Pushing Gust. On a crit failure, this ability has an effect. Garbage. Moving on. You take damage. Okay. Till the end of the current turn, you can't be attacked or targeted. You don't take up space. Can't act. This is pretty good. Dispersion to Air is pretty good. I give this like an 8, probably. It's a reposition, and you just can't take any more damage. Basically. Well, you can't be attacked anymore. However, you need to win initiative for this to be good. And Oracle's initiatives are pretty bad. So I'd give this a 7. It'd be higher if Oracles had good initiative, but they don't, so it's a 7. Water. That's Air, you fool. Tidal Surge, Downpour. Garbage. 0 out of 10. Creatures in the area are concealed and gain fire resistance 10, and creatures outside the area are concealed to those inside the area. Garbage? What? How many creatures have weakness water? Do fire elementals have weakness water? I believe they have cold. They're weak to cold. They're not weak to water. Okay, so basically nothing relevant is weak to water. I don't... Can you... Marshy, if you're still here, can you think of a single creature with weakness to water? Because I certainly can't. I think cold? Yeah, it's cold. It's not... It's not what... There's like... See, it's not. The five elemental effects are acid, cold, fire, electricity, and poison, which are the 5 types of damage that Dahak and his butt buddies do. Water literally never comes into play. So this sentence right here means absolutely nothing to me. I have not seen a single enemy, not even one. If anyone in chat can name me one enemy with weakness water, I'll be sure to throw it in for some idiot to take Downpour. Literally, this is nothing. Paizo could have just not included the statement, and this spell wouldn't change. Fire resistance 10, okay, but you're concealed to those outside. 3. It's pretty crap. Air and water are pretty crap. So I think Tempest is going down to an 8. Let's take a look at the curses. Minor Curse does nothing. This is literally nothing. You gain weakness to electricity, whatever. And electricity spells or effects that have additional effects for a creature wearing holding metal or shooting. Okay, so you get fucked by Shocking Grasp, whatever. Does it counteract sources of fire? That is a great question. Anchor weight. It doesn't. It extinguishes non-magical flames. So if you're trying to use this to put out a forest fire, yes, that would work. If you're trying to put out a magical fire, it would not. I don't know how many spell effects cause magical fires, but I would say this is pretty good if you're trying to put out a non-magical fire. Even then, the odds of that happening outside of like a hazard in an actual combat, I'd say is pretty rare. Maybe if you're using it in like a lava pit, it could extinguish the lava and maybe like the top layer would cool over for a certain amount of time. Maybe like 1d6 rounds, maybe. I don't know.